The real Eve, Chris Sizemore, who is now 61, continued over the next 20 years to develop 19 more personalities. And they continued to come, she says, in groups of 3.
In the last group, there was one called the Purple Lady. She thought she was 58 years old and she wore bifocals. Coexisting with her was the Strawberry Girl, who thought she was 21 years old and could read from the telephone directory without glasses. Also in that group was the Retrace Lady, and she was the intellectual of the 3.
Now Mrs. Sizemore has written her own soon-to-be-published book about her recent life as a healthy person and as a mental health advocate. The actress Sissy Spacek wants to buy the rights to this book for a movie, but was stopped by 20th Century Fox, which claims that it owns the rights to Mrs. Sizemore's entire life story. The studio offers as proof a contract Mrs. Sizemore signed in 1956, when The Three Faces of Eve was made. But Mrs. Sizemore says she was mentally ill at the time and points out her 4 names. Who signed that contract?
It was a personality that we have referred to as Evelyn Lancaster over the years. I think that Eve Black, Eve White, and Jane still were in existence because their name is typed on the document also. Certainly I did not sign it.
Mrs. Sizemore, who was paid $7,000 for her signature, is now suing Fox.
Our first position is that the contract does not give them anything more than the right to do her life for the Three Faces of Eve period. And second, the result would simply be unconscionable. You cannot take someone's life 30 years ago for a very small sum of money and expect to own it for the rest of their natural lives.
20th Century Fox, which declined to be interviewed, has until March 27th to respond to the suit. Meanwhile, the woman whose illness has won more credibility and understanding in recent years is living peacefully in Florida with her singular self and with the memory of all those others.
Today I know that they are a part of me, so I'm the sum total of all of them. But you know, I think I'm more than that today. I have become my very own person too. When I was just 2 years old, I saw a man taken from a ditch who apparently had drowned. And I heard the word death, and then I saw the scene that revolved around that. And about 2 weeks later, I saw a man cut in half at a lumber mill.
To help young Chris deal with the horror she'd seen, 22 personalities emerged.
They're so real. Their tone of voice changes, their facial expressions are different, their skills are different.
But 7 of the 22 could paint. This was painted by the Retrace Lady. The Smithsonian offered Chris $125,000 for it. Here's the work of the Strawberry Girl who only ate strawberries. And this is a self-portrait of the Purple Lady who saw herself with brown hair and eyes. Chris's art was on display at Charter Hospital recently, including this painting done by Chris. And after 20 years of therapy, all of her personalities have integrated into one.
I know I'm the sum total of all 22 of those personalities, but today I think I'm more than that. I think I've become my very own person as well. The first one to paint was the Bell Lady in '63. She just did her, what she thought multiple personality was like, sort of 3 faces there. And in her mind, it represented the id, the ego, and the superego. The first artist, true artist, had to be the Turtle Lady, and I think academically was the best artist. Had a friend, and I only had one friend over 20 years, and she was an artist. And one day they were talking, and she said, "Why don't you paint something?" So she just picked up a brush and started painting.